All right, yeah. So good morning again, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are following us from. We're live here at the State Broadcasting House at the State Radio, ELBC, and His Excellency the President of the Republic of Liberia is having a special appearance here this morning, and we, as you can see by the movement of vehicles, we have His Excellency here any moment from now. His Excellency the President will be here, and that's it. The convoy of His Excellency fast approaching from the gates there. He is guided by scores of reporters, and we have here the Minister of Information, the head of ELBC is here also, Director Eugene Fagon, and so as you can see, the President is approaching here already. Several issues expected to be discussed here today, and His Excellency will be taking questions and also providing information to Liberians about what is being done and what his administration is doing vis-a-vis the arrest agenda. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have that's the newest building of the ELBC State Broadcasting System, Liberia Broadcasting System.
You listen, just hold it. It takes 10 minutes for you to just set a long sheet. It's up to you. You already have viewers.
You have the appearance here of the Presidential Press Secretary, Anthony Kula Fofana, approaching. You have the Deputy Minister of Public Affairs is also here, Honorable Anthony V. Kessely. And we have other staff of State Broadcasting. The State Broadcaster already here. We have His Excellency is coming out. So there you have it. That is His Excellency the President of the Republic of Liberia. And Tito is prostrating to speak to the President. So we are going straight into the studios where the President will address the nation. So he has great staff. He will be speaking. President shaking hands there.
Good morning, Mr. President. Ron Gawinelli. Channel the photographer them of the yellow.
Minister, sorry. Sorry, Minister. So we have to. He is going to the studio, to the office first, where he will speak with the DG. So we have the President will be here. He is here already. So keep following, keep sharing wherever you are.
Yeah. The office small. The office small. Amen. Amen.
His Excellency will leave the DG briefly. It's a very gigantic picture of the President on the wall.
Chairman.
Yes.
How are you?
How you doing? Us.
As former Director General.
Mr. Snyder is also, he is the former Director General of ABS.
You will get a chance to see when you're walking out. I believe that without something completing. That is studios. 7 studios. 7
TV, right?
TV and radio. You will be in one studio. We never have to get on the go on the other side. Just as they do at CNN or VOA, you have the opportunity to say, we now leave Studio B to join our French crew in Studio 7. Not see too hot.
I know you will like that.
Yeah, because
Can you imagine?
business office of the president, there will be no budget shortfall. Yeah, man. The cameraman, y'all won't step out for a minute.
So DG and the president will have a minute by themselves. So we are going to step out and be in the studio, but whilst we do that, I'll see if we can catch a word with a few people. But again, we are live here at the state broadcaster, and His Excellency the President of the Republic of Liberia will be speaking to the nation, not addressing, but he will be. Let me see. We have grasp. If we see we can, as we have the. We can pass by. Madam PPS, good morning. One word, what do we expect from His Excellency this morning?
Well, we look forward to hearing from our father, the President of the Republic of Liberia. The people want to hear from him. I'm very excited because if you see the crowd outside, I hope you had the time to see the people, lining up. It shows that the people are waiting to listen to them. So we look forward to an exciting morning.
We also have beside her one of the assistant ministers in the Ministry of State. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You're here. What do we expect His Excellency to say to his people? They're going to be like having a conversation. It's not like speaking. So, what do we expect?
Well, the Excellency is out of trained. We give us the microphone. I'm sure operate in the nation where we listen to His Excellency. We're going to achieve. So we know we are coming to the end of what the government achieved in the past 2 years. And you see, you guys that was doing my job.
So I just speaking a few words here, but we will be awaiting His Excellency any moment from now. So I have to set up my camera to be sure I grasp a first glance and a better position of the president. So stick and stay, don't go away. Stick with us. Don't you go away. Excellency. In a moment from now, right, you see where the flag is where His Excellency will be seated to speak to the people of Liberia. And so, we don't know when he was sick. We don't know what's happening. We know that there's several national issues that we discussed here today. So, we anticipate that the President will speak on this agenda, agriculture. He will speak on road, he will speak on the rule of law, he will speak on sanitation, he will speak on the rule of law, education, he will speak on several other issues. So we have His Excellency, which is the Minister of ladies and gentlemen, we have the President now.
Mr. President, welcome to our studio. LBC 99.9 FM. We've been relayed on 89.9, which is the traditional language radio station, the youth radio station, sorry, and 97.7, traditional all owned by LBS. You will also be live on television in 54 countries around Africa, as well as on Satcom Channel 1 and our own LNTV. So today, the moment is yours, the Liberian people waiting for you. All right.
99.9 is the radio service of the Liberia Broadcasting System, ELBC. You're listening to the Super Morning Show. Like we've been announcing since this morning, we are honored to have His Excellency President Joseph Nyuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, as our special guest this morning on the Super Morning Show. My name is Fafli Kamara, and I'm being joined by Kelvin Demi of Prime FM, veteran Liberian journalist T-Max, director of Sky FM. T-Max will lead this special interview with His Excellency on ELBC. We have a host of community radio stations across the country relaying this special interview. Also in Monrovia, we have a couple of radio stations including OKFM, Joy FM, Prime FM, Sky FM, Truth FM, Cool FM, Punch FM, Bushhog Radios, and a host of community radio stations, like I said, relaying this. At this time, at this juncture, I'll turn over to T-Max, our lead on this special interview. T-Max, it's all yours.
Thank you, Pablo. It's a pleasure to be here at LBS. We're happy to be here to have some conversation with the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Nyuma Boakai. To the people of Liberia, today is your moment to have talk directly to your president. This is the first time since we became president to have such audience with his people face to face. So, with much ado, like we said, the station, the program is with the Samadiason. Many radio stations. The intent is to afford you the opportunity that you know exactly what your president is saying, what he intends to do, and what you want your president to do. So, Mr. President, welcome to your station. It's not Sky, this is LBS, your station that we put so much time into. And we are glad that, as I said, you have selected us to come and have this conversation with you. So to begin with, we want to know who Joseph Nyuma Boakai is.
T-Max, thank you. Thank you all. The opportunity to be on air. And the name of the BC. CNBC is coming out with. And we know the history of it. And USA connection. So I want to thank all of you who need to be in and
partners who have helped us to transform this radio station. The team out here come a very long way. I'm from Foya, from Muslim, to be very precise. I can't go into all the details of who I am, but this is a young man who had a handicapped brother, and I walked all the way to that member with my hands. A little kid who walked from Foya, lived there, went to elementary school. After that, came to Monrovia, tried to go to school, couldn't go, went back up country, and decided to come again. Of course, they walked me again through fire tune, did everything. Went to CW, Jenito, went through high school, university, went to Nyuma. Right after college, as a manager, I started there, and I became the manager of Nyuma, LPMC. Became the first Liberian managing director of LPMC. Then Minister of Agriculture. Then left later on after our conflict. Appointed me as a managing director of the oil refinery. Then I left again, came back. Ellen asked me to run with her as vice president. 12 years. Later on left, and we took a defeat. Then we went to private business, and later on we came back. And the simple reason is that I have always said it. I didn't come to become president. I came in to rescue our country, to give a new Liberia hope for young people who are very much endowed but needed opportunity, and for market people, for everybody. So I'm here to serve this country so that this country can be recognized. 179 years. See where we are, no road, no electricity. We're here to change that story, and I'm here for that.
When did you conceive that idea of wanting to be president? Because you were
not president, as I told you. I always wanted a leadership that would lead this country by example, and leadership that really cared for it, that know the country, know the history of the country. Nobody had to tell me anything about here. I live it. I used to live in Swanee. We used to sleep on the floor there and so forth. So I know what people go through. So even as I ride car, tinted windows, I know people who are suffering, people who need help. So I live with it. So it's a passion I have, and this is something I'm here for.
So you've been president for almost, we went to your third year, by next month we've been telling you. What will you tell you the Liberia that you came to rescue? Where is it?
I want to tell you people that when I say something, I mean it. We say rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Rescue, you will believe, people who are going through a lot of problems here. Although sometimes when you live in a situation, you live it, and the powers that be, you got to satisfy them. But we knew that people were going through hardship. You knew that people needed electricity, people needed good roads, people needed some affordable food, and people needed a lot of things, their children to go to good school. But that was the situation at the time. And it lay with me, and I said, this is a situation that we have to change. I'm a Christian. The Bible says, you who know to do good, you don't do it, to you it's sin.
Mm-hmm.
You may ignore it, but these young people cannot do it for themselves. They needed a leadership that cared, and that's why I live with, and that's why I'm here for. So it was not presidency, but you have to be president by title. My real job here is to make sure that we give our people life, give them better life, show their true potential. We see all the small countries around us who used to depend on us, who used to come here. Today we run into them. Why should we continue to do that? I hear even small countries, countries that we help, they say they are the gateway to Africa. And I'm saying Liberia will be the destination.
Destination.
They will pass through you and come here, and it will happen.
It will happen.
Of course. You can see it in a movie.
So the program is we have three on this panel list. We have Bavlin from LBS. We have Kevin David from Prime FM. I want to start this way. In 2017, your campaign, you talk about roads and roads and roads and roads and roads, and we were wondering, what is this guy? He's not talking about putting money in my pocket. He's talking about roads and roads. That driving force, the necessity of road rehabilitation or road construction. What is that a vehicle to modernization, to reconstruction, to making people's lives better?
T-Max, there's nothing you can do without opening the country up. You want to do agriculture, you got to have road. You want to have good quality education to reach everybody, you got to have road. You want to have prices affordable, you got to have roads. Without roads, you can't get anywhere. A few years ago, or maybe a couple of months ago, you couldn't go to the southeast. And because you couldn't go to the southeast, they would tell you how much they were paying on transportation, how much they were paying for a bag of rice, how much they were paying for everything. Today, I have been to Grand Gita, and I could have come back the same day. We haven't even gone far. But I made a few times, we'll be starting the road from St. Paul Bridge to Boer Waterside. It's going to be a toll-free road, 4 lanes. We're going to have the road going to Tottenham. We're going to have road starting from Mendicoma, connecting the road to Salaye, to open up the country. Most of these young people want to do business. How do you go out there to go do business with no road? You can send a person to go to the southeast to go do an assessment. With a road condition, they will sit right here and write a report. We want to connect the country. We want to open up the country to opportunities for education, for agriculture, good drinking water. Eugene went to the southeast to go install a TV station. If you didn't have road, how you done? Today we have Koreans coming here beside road. We're going to start a national airline that will be flying to this country. If you don't go by road, you go road speed of progress. And so from day one, I say road number 1, road number 2, road number 3, because without roads, you can't have development.
Lovely.
Well, Mr. President, good morning again. Welcome to ELBC. I want to ask about the idea of the arrest agenda. That idea itself. What underpinned it?
Well, you know, I thought about something that I could sell. And it was a concept of what will summarize some of the things that I was thinking about. Agriculture, number 1. But with agriculture, like I said, you need roads. So I put the arrow there, and then the E, education. Vocational education, education, the classrooms, and so forth. Then, of course, sanitation. Really, we thought about health, but in a developing country that we are, first thing you start with in your environment. Clean market, clean road, clean houses and neighborhood is linked to health. So sanitation and health go together. Then, of course, the T for tourism. We have some of the best opportunities there for tourism that will create a lot of jobs in the hospitality industry, in some of the places like the Sapo Forest and all of these. And we felt that sanitation would create not just jobs, but to open up Liberia to the international. It would be an icing on the cake. I didn't want to put the to 2 hours because people would have thought that I was thinking about arresting people. But we thought about the rule of law. So they say, well, what about the rule of law? The country has to have the rule of law. So we put the second hour, EST, arrest, to summarize some of the things that I wanted to do in this country. And that's what brought about the arrest agenda. And unfortunately, sometimes the arrest has to take place because this country here, everybody thought, they say that's a chopping country. When you come there, you chop your own. If we all chop our own, what will be the future of the rest of the people? So we have to arrest people who decide that corruption is the way to go. That you come one day, you get rich the next day. And so we are here to fight corruption wherever it exists, whether in the past, except where we have statutory limitation. But if you do it, you go through investigation. And you know very well the Liberian people took people for granted. There are a lot of people that committed atrocities in this country for no good reason. And we thought that we had laws to protect ourselves. The House of Representatives and Senate passed a law to say that all persons who committed atrocities in this country should go free. But they forgot that we ratify laws. And every time you ratify, you add to your laws. So they forgot that while they were giving themselves that leeway internationally, we were not free. We were being looked down upon. The people were holding us to pass crimes that were committed against humanity. And without them, nobody would work with us. So we did say that, okay, we had a true and the true commission. People confessed. The next step was to make good on those confessions. But everybody was afraid to touch it. I believe the way to start a country is to reconcile the country. Bring people who have committed crimes to justice. Make people know what they have done. Let them confess, let them repent, reconcile. And that's why we took the bold step to make sure that we pass executive order to recognize the crimes that have been committed in the past, that we will tell the world that we are ready to make good on them, and also to go to reconcile the country by doing the reburial that we did in Grandville, the one we did here, to bring our people together. You see the dividend that I've been paid. Go to the diaspora, open up make those people to know that they are part of Liberia. And after that, we had a fast and prayer time for God to forgive us for what we've done to our own country. And I don't have to tell you, I'm not God, but I don't have to tell you. See what is happening in Liberia. People feel happier. The streets are cleaner. We're building roads. We're opening up the country. That is to open up the country, not for Nyuma Boakai, but the future of all the people in this country, including our young people, our women, and that's what we did.
Kevin. Mr. President, it's my pleasure sitting behind these microphones to have an interview with you. My name is Kelvin Demi of Prime FM. Every time I hear about Mr. Boakai before the presidency and even up to the presidency, I hear about agriculture. Agriculture has trademarked you. The rest is inclusive of agriculture, education, sanitation, health, tourism, and the rest of it. I want you to pick up some time and explain to the people of Liberia on what picture can you give them on each of how do you want, by the time you leave the presidency, or Liberia to be in these specific areas under the rest agenda. Agriculture, what kind of agriculture do you want by the time you leave or you exit the presidency? Education, what are we looking at? What can we visualize? Health, sanitation, tourism. And then maybe finally, under this aspect of my questioning, is the issue about, do you pick up some time to drive around, see how the country looks like?
Well, we took over a very difficult country, and the first thing was to make good on our international conventions. We had to build relationships. Right now, we should have been elected to ECOWAS as the chair, but we couldn't qualify because of past obligation. Some of the roads you see that are not completed because we didn't pay our own obligation. And so...
Financial obligations. Financial obligations.
Well, you know financial obligation. But the thing about it is that why it is necessary to go around the country. I always say if you have a bad work and a bad case, take care of the bad case first. Otherwise you won't do the work. So we had to make the international people feel comfortable with us. Today, Liberia smells very good, but we have to do all those things. So going up country depends on what relationship we build. You need money to build road. You go up country, where you going? I am going up country and I plan to make country true, but I intend to do that. By next year, when the yellow machines are in, the farmers are ready, when we build the bridges to connect, and I can go to the people with a message. See this is the work. We want to open up the country. So yes, I go to places that are close by, but the more difficult places, you got to fix them up. So I intend to go around the country, but first, let's take care of the low-hanging fruit issues. Take care of them. We're not going there, but messages are going there. I haven't gone over there, but now they got TV station, we got radio station, and these things are where, and the people are feeling it. So when I go, it will be a matter of telling them, this is what we want to do, and this is how I want to do it. We are building 100 schools, elementary schools. We just launched that. The schools are going to be complete computer. You couldn't have done that if you don't have road. So we are doing that, and I want to tell you today, I am going to build a football academy in Bond County. We already got commitment to do it, to make our young people life interesting for them. You look at a few years to live. So I will go up country, to the country, but right now one of the goal is to start going ahead the roads and things so that we all can go.
Your Minister of Public Works, Mr. Gideon, said emphatically, by 2029, one will drive from Monrovia straight to the southeast. I'm talking about the side because I'm from the
I know, that's what you're talking about.
Go to the southeast. And I'm not talking about Lofa. Lofa, yes, it's close to drive on paved road. Is that your impression? Do you make that commitment to him, or is he just talking that? Is that exactly what happened in 2029?
When I took over the ministry, public works, everybody was wearing coat suit, going around. And I called them to my office. I don't stop people from wearing coat suits, but I beg you. If you want to see those road bills, you got to be there yourself. So if you don't take out the coat suit, then we may have to bring people who wear jeans to go out there. In 1 week's time, everybody was going around. We got to do the work that we have to do. Liberia is not about Monrovia, it's about people, the Liberians, a country who want to just, my idea in life, I say, live simple, that others may simply live. Some people just want to live. They want to be a country. You got to have roads. So public works now is moving around. And I can tell you, when they tell you, I already got a schedule of what they will do next week, just like the LEC man, where he will go, and they have to keep those commitments. We have to keep them by paying up our loan, the loans that we took, pay up, be in good book. We just got good with the Saudi Arabians, with the Kuwaitis and things. The road to Lofa to continue. So the road fund, we're making sure the money going into that fund will be used for road to support road construction. So when they tell you that, you better believe it.
So we're looking at, you said Nyuma Boakai, you getting the roads. Chelsea started saying in 2017, but if your roads is opening up the country, like you're going to ground crew, maybe 14 hours I come back, if I want to go back again, I'll go. But there's one important thing that the Liberians are interested in. It's the economy, DMB. Should I call it that way, DMB? Is the economy. Liberia, you said Nyuma Boakai is doing this, but
the bread and butter.
The bread and the butter.
Yeah.
I was in Lofa, and you know we've been in Lofa for about 8 years.
Chima, that's one of the problems you have in development. To open up the big jobs, you need to decide the big jobs. You need to decide the big jobs. To negotiate a contract, it takes you at least 2 years. And by the time you get through negotiating, that contract will go to the legislature, they take time. We are working with a big contract, like they put to mind the mine in Florida, 10,000 people and so forth, because we want to go beyond what we normally do here. We create iron ore, we ship the iron ore, we don't want that. When you produce the iron ore here, smelt it here, do the raw material here, that takes a lot of time. We are getting close to it. But you cannot create jobs in a country that people did not have confidence in. For the bigger jobs, you need international funding, and those things take time. So they are coming. Now, you know very well, it took 40 years for Ethiopian Airlines to come back. They all were leaving. Today, the Turkish Airlines talking about coming back. Some of these things take time. The Korean teams are here. They want to build ship here. They want to take the unfinished housing bank, transform it. All of these things are coming, but they take time. They can't do it in 10, 15 months. We have just got off it. We have to even get used to or acquainted with the situation of being in our office, get to know what obligations you have, what you need to do. It takes some time, so the big jobs are coming.
Darling.
Mr. President, in November 2015, we won our first compact. I'm talking about the MCC. And I remember through research that you signed on behalf of Liberia in Washington 10 years after we won another compact for the second time. what are specific areas when we get that money? What are specific areas that money will go towards?
Two key areas. One of them would be in power, electricity. The second one will be roads, infrastructure.
What are these
Of
two?
course, there will be health also. These are crucial areas. And of course, the partners that we're working with, they have interest too. So they're going to work with areas in which, and I can assure you, the money this time will be much, much bigger than, and mind you now, it only took 9 months to win, to qualify for that. Many, many countries did not. So these are areas that will create jobs. The electricity, more electricity you have, more opportunity you have for people making little short bread, cornbread, small businesses. Then in the rural area, it opened up opportunities to open up the country. Do you know how much of our resources are taken out of this country that we don't know? If you are in the bushes, we open the roads, we'll be able to reach those resources. So those are strategic areas that we need to invest in: road, health, and electricity.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'm concerned about water and sanitation. That was one of the issues raised. Many communities still struggle with their access to safe drinking water. How is the government addressing this?
You know, to connect water from the water source in Harrisburg area, there was a 48-inch pipe. We had to put pressure on the contractor. That person was contracted way back for that pipe to be connected. 48-inch pipe is not a small pipe. Only recently we had to call the Chinese man and the Ministry of Justice and put pressure on them. You need to change the pipes that have been bringing water. These are old pipes from years back. So a lot of work needs to be done to bring water to Monrovia. It's not just connecting, it's sourcing the water. But that process is already on course. I think one day you will have the Water and Sewer Corporation man, they will tell you how close we are to bringing a major pipe. All of the sewers in this country are more than, I don't know how many years old. We need to replace them. We need to give our people decent life. Every time you go down Waterside, some places burst there, places filthy. So water and sanitation are issues that we are addressing. We thank God that today, not just Monrovia, I went to Bakolu to connect them water. They're trying to connect water in Plebo. We're trying to connect water in Nimba. Everywhere people need those facilities. Those are public facilities that we need to do.
We are fast progressing with electricity. The issue about water, sanitation is still a challenge. What are the experts telling you in terms of how soon or later will Liberia be connected?
Well, I just told you about the major problem with water is to bring the water, the pipe that is big enough to deliver the water. And I can assure you that if you bring any of these people, Mo Ali, he will tell you how close we are. But we are getting there. I know there was some community. I must check in my house. For the last 3 years, I produce my own water. The water I have there is my own water that I'm generating. So you must know that these are issues that we need to deal with when we talk about health and sanitation. So that the public welfare, I think if people, water and sewer people, give them a chance to tell you where they are.
So So if you just join
And
us,
not just that water, rural water as well. I have said I would never ever dedicate a hand pump. This time around when we give people water.
Why? Why you wouldn't dedicate a hand pump?
Because 179-year hand pump, we should get the people water tower and water. The people deserve that. I'm not going to dedicate. Nobody called me to go dedicate a hand pump. We're giving the people water. We'll give people water that will flow. They can connect to their houses. That's what we
Are they being worked on?
Of course, we are putting. You go to Nyuma, the school I attended, we put water facility. There is a daycare center where we put water facility there. We have installed a lot of water facilities around, even up country, in Banga, different places, and that's what we do in addition to what water and sewer is doing.
Just before we go to the halfway mark, Mr. President, 2023, they said you were old, tired, but now nobody doubts your energy. You look so refreshed almost every day. What's happening? What's the secret?
You got an eye go. I told you, I didn't come to the job. I was running for a purpose, and he knows. I work almost. I don't go to bed about 1, 2, and I get in the morning. And by the time you get in the morning, people in your house, you go to the mansion, they're there. But I have said that the thing that is chasing you, if it doesn't stop running, you can stop running. Our country needs development, and God Himself sees the need to give up the energy to do that.
So does that mean that you could still have energy that will take you up to beyond 2029?
Pardon?
Politically.
Say what?
Does that smell like there's a chance for a 2029 re-election?
You know, the way I believe in life, that's the problem with the job I have is now. I don't worry about 2029. I worry about what to do now for the next.
But what you want to do now, you want to see it really completed to do it. You don't want to do it halfway.
It's not a complete, you never complete, but we all should move the country to a point that the next person will take it and move it elsewhere. But that's the problem we always have. We think we can finish it, but do what you're supposed to do at the time that God gave you to do it. And when the next person comes, it's a hope. Right now, I tell you, anybody who takes Liberia behind, go by behind people, Liberia will resist because they want electricity, they want good roads, they want good education for their children. Don't think that you just got to give them small money and satisfy. It's not going to work that way. And that's why we want to get it, so that the people will know what they want, what they have enjoyed, and what they want to enjoy. That you're not going to fool them by giving them small things. That's not what they're looking for. They want empowerment. They don't want to be beggars.
So by 2029, Nyuma Boakai would have completed that.
I don't know about that. 2029, that day we are working toward 2029. 6 years, that's what we're doing.
So let me get back to the arrest.
If it's not competing, it's to move the country in the way that it will move forward.
They can't go backward.
That's right.
Even if the Liberian people ask you, JMP, you don't think you did 2029, why don't you take us across?
Let's come to that. I'm here to work till 2029.
So let's get to the arrest agenda, because there is this S in the arrest agenda. You look at sanitation, which is tied up to health.
Yes.
If you look around in Monrovia, Monrovia is truly overpopulated. So you see the garbage, excuse my description of that, is everywhere. I don't know your plans for the Monrovia City Corporation. To me, it's got a lot of work to do, and they seem not to have the resources to do that. What are you looking at in that area? Because when we talk about the MCC, if this does come, Bobby was asking the second component of it, the third component of the MCC does come, you said you largely contribute that to work for people to have something to do and to the road. What's about sanitation?
Yeah, you see, T-Max, the city is congested. They were thinking about 350,000 people. We have nearly 2 million people in the country. And you know how the people got here during the conflict. And most of the people, they build everywhere to their own detriment, because you build in a waterway, you have flood. They don't know it. And when you go to advise them or maybe to remove them, they get angry. But sometimes we have to do it. But what is happening here these days is that there is an arrangement. The Painsville and the Monrovia City Corporation are working together with a group that will do recycling. We also identifying place to remove Wayne-town, to remove the garbage, not just to get rid of the garbage, but to also be able to recycle some of those things. All the plastic we throw around, it takes 400 years for plastic to completely be decomposed and how. What we're trying to do is to find a way to recycle those things. It takes money. You can't catch up with the people throwing garbage around to be able to collect. So they are working jointly to bring investment here for recycling. That also will create jobs. They need trucks to remove the garbage. They need to relocate the garbage disposal site. All of these things you cannot. As I told you, the people got to believe in the country. You got to see that good things are happening. The negotiations are going on and they are taking place. I'm even telling Public Works, every time I ride on the road, every hole I see on the main road, we got to repair. It takes time to do these things, but the garbage will be removed. The Center Street, you look at Center Street, for example. That used to be the Liberia, but you know, Liberia, we do everything different. Cemetery is not supposed to look like that. But in Liberia, that's how it looks. All these things we got to get rid of. But we have to get rid of them in a way that people understand what you want to do. Because there are sentiments attached to those things there. So we are working, we're going 2 years, and we're working on those things there. But I can assure you, the garbage removal, the recycling, all of these things, before the end of the year will be falling into place. I'm talking about the system will be in place. These things will begin to, people will have jobs to remove. In community, for example, those things that are supposed to be done by private people. You buy your something, you go to certain people, they get bags, they put their garbage in there. They're not supposed to be really government-run entities. But the city corporation have to work on that.
Mr. President, let's get it back. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. President, let's talk about job creation. The young people, they need jobs. At the cabinet meeting that you held in Tottenham, you endorsed, the cabinet endorsed what is called the National Employment Acceleration Strategy. How far are we with job creation, and what is that strategy will do with job creation?
Well, one thing I told the Minister of Finance is that we have to put in the budget every year some money that will create some job possibilities. But the bigger jobs come. Do you know, most people do not understand, from the time the coup took place in Israel, the war, a lot of young people, their parents' path, they are in the street. They are not there because they want to be there, but because they have nothing to do. So we need the job creation must go hand in hand with training them, meaning out of vocational training, making them employable. Besides that, the job creation comes not mostly from government. Everybody think they gotta be encouraged. How many? If government employs everybody, who will pay? Where will the money come from? So job creation comes in some of the concession agreements that we're signing. But at the same time, we have to train our young people to be prepared to handle a job. Vocational training. We just brought people from Tuskegee University to try to make BWI that center that will create opportunities for vocational training. And around the country, we want to be able to put vocational training in most of the counties so that the young people can learn to do many things. You sit here, who does that? Everything here is done by a technician. And they have the competence, they have the desire to do it, but we have to prepare them. So many years they've been just idle, nothing going on. You got to prepare them for that. You got to put them through schools, to vocational training school. You got to make sure that you bring companies to invest, and we are doing that. But it will take some time because every concession that comes here must be scrutinized. You must agree to the terms and conditions. There are people who want to come here to build a seaport to put, like in Buchanan, we work with the seaport there. There are Koreans right now in the diner. We have to create opportunities in tourism. It will take time for all these things to be done. So we appealing to the young people. The smaller things we can do right now, but the bigger things we have to work with international people to do it.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
we are the guys who sit on the radio interacting with the public, the locals, on an everyday basis. I know you don't get to listen to all of the radio stations. You don't get to hear all of what the people, your people, will say. But one of what has been consistent is the fight against corruption and their stewardship that people should account for in the previous administration. In simple terms, some of your people believe that you are not fighting corruption. Some people believe that you're very slow, you're dragging the fight against corruption. Some people you're doing little. So we thought that we use this opportunity to ask you, Mr. President, what is your stand on corruption?
Well, you know very well that we all are human beings. Simply because somebody say you're corrupt doesn't mean that I declare you corrupt. You got to give the people a chance. And we're talking about rule of law too, because the international communities also grade us for us to be able to win the compact. We are graded by all these things. How we stand on the rule of law, how we stand to provide for our citizens, how we stand on giving our people education, dealing with human beings. You go, someone, a whistleblower tells you that somebody is doing so and so. You don't just go and fight them. You first give them a chance for them to go to LACC, and they too, and mind you, everywhere you go, there are human beings there too. They all got friends too. So we don't just jump on people and fire them. Just as I wouldn't like for you to just, based on suspect, how long it took. Everybody was saying, oh, Sawyer fired him. They didn't know that Sawyer didn't fire me for corruption. It takes time to prove that. So we gave them a chance first. If we feel it's serious, we suspend you, and we gave the LACC and all the entities that are responsible chance to investigate you. They have to prove to us that the charges put on you are correct before we deal with that. We are fighting corruption, but I'm telling you, corruption, to be able to find corruption is not just a 2-day work. A lot of people who are corrupt are in the system. We inherited them. Some people have tenures. They sign tenures for 6 years. You fire them, they take you to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court put a halt on it. So a whole system of work. So why you think that somebody is corrupt simply because somebody threw you the cut?
Finally, a follow-up to myself. We wouldn't get past this interview if we don't bring in the much publicized talk about FOIA project.
Can we take that after the break?
I want us to tell about
Okay, no problem.
You're listening to the Super Morning Show, special interview with His Excellency President Joseph Nyuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. This is ELBC Radio. This is the Super Morning Show indeed. Fascinating discussion with His Excellency President Joseph Nyuma Boakai Senior. My name is Vafle Kamara. I'm here with Team Max Delate. Kelvin, you were on it.
Okay, I was in flight. So, Mr. President, welcome back after this very short break. We are concerned about the much talked about FOIA project. I see you smiling. But some people say, let me colloquialize it, let me simplify it. People say that a retirement home. Some people say that a play you won't move, you do a secret building there. So of course the Minister of Information has spoken. But we thought that we hear from you what actually we need to know about this housing project in Fulham.
I don't need a retirement home built for me by the public. I'm going to, God willing, retire maybe in 4 years. I have a house there. Samaritan person was using it for years. I'm going to rebuild the house for retirement. I've never taken government money for any personal use. But let's understand, Liberia is the oldest country maybe in Africa. For the republic, Liberia must now position itself in the sub-region, the Mana River Union, for example. You know Australia, you know Guinea, you know Liberia, of course Cote d'Ivoire. We are now almost positioning ourselves as the peacemakers. Up to today, Sierra Leone, besides internal problem like all countries do have, they have the younger problem. With Guinea, that problem been lingering for years. We have been involved. You saw Ellen Johnson Sirleaf cross the river. I educated her on Yenga. There's a potential conflict between Guinea and Sierra Leone. Besides that, Guinea is a military country. They are trying, I think on the 28th of this month, they'll be having their election. We in Liberia are positioning ourselves as peacemakers. Cote d'Ivoire is working well with us. I just went to Ouattara's 4th election as president. There too, we thank God, could have been some conflict there. So, 4-year project is intended to be a hub for peacemaking in the sub-region. Mada Bio can drive straight to 4-year. The president of Guinea can come to 4-year. Even if Cote d'Ivoire will be the only country that will fly. So the project there is an international project intended to prepare 4-year as a place where we resolve these crises and making them very private by the president, people meeting there, international meetings will take place there. It's not a Joseph Boakai project. In fact, it started without me knowing, because probably they knew that I would have presented it. So it is not a private project. It's a peace building place. It's a place where the sub-region can meet. Heads of state can come there in privacy, meet to discuss regional problems. No matter what we do internationally, first and foremost, we must be able to take care of this sub-region, the Mana River Union. That's the project there. You go there, there's nothing there in my name.
So who's building it? So who's building that project? Is it funded by Liberia exclusively?
It's going to be funded under the Mana River. That means Guinea, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire contributory.
But it's up already.
It's on. It's been funded.
Why didn't they tell you about the project?
Why they make it so?
Well, you know me, they know very well I would have resented initially because I don't want anything done there. And so they wanted to make sure. But they got, you won't hide it from me. But it's not a private project, it's a national project.
Who did they?
Just like the way we're doing in Banga, we want to make Banga a conference center. We're building it there. Projects will go to different parts of the country. The people in the south, in the western side, they are trying to make Cape Mount Tourist Center. We are trying to make Bumi Educational Center, Bapolu Emergency Medical Center for the whole. So everywhere projects, that's the project for the sub-region.
Okay, but the key takeaway is that that is not your personal.
It's not a personal project. I don't want a personal project. Personal project would be, I live in my house. Next year will make me 44 years. I'm content.
The rehab house?
Of course.
Okay.
I have a farm. These are personal projects. I'm not interested in government-funded project for me in any way.
Okay. Prior to coming, Mr. President, we gauged the views of Liberians, and one of the callers said that you should grade yourself.
You should what?
Grade yourself. What?
Your performance.
Your performance.
I should grade myself.
You will get yourself A.
A plus.
Why you have to make a grade
I
yourself?
will never make an A until we reach to where we want to reach with the country, because we are still in the process.
When will we reach to that place?
Huh?
When will we reach it? What time will we reach
Well, I
that place?
may not be able to reach an A. I may not deserve an A. What I want to do is to set the country up so that Liberia will become A in the future. Not me.
Not you.
Looking ahead, we will take calls, Mr. President. Looking ahead, what should we Liberians expect for 2026 and onward?
2026, we are, like I told you, we're going to start the road from St. Paul Bridge to Bonewater side. We are going to build a road to Tubnumber. We're going to build 100 elementary schools. We're going to make sure that we are building diagnostic centers. One is being built now between Bone and Lufa, where people will go check their, because most people in this country say, oh, the man just dropping down, where people will go check themselves and make sure that they are well. We are also internationally in positioned. Liberia is bringing here the youth program that was with ECOWAS, and that will be now in Liberia. All these years I founded all these entities, no position for Liberia. We're going to appoint a judge on the ECOWAS court. It will be a Liberian. There will be a lot of things coming to Liberia. There are going to be more roads built. We're going to build international infrastructure here. They are going to build a bank. Even the Ghanaian commercial bank has come to me. They want to build a bank here. They want to open a bank here. There are a lot of investment that are coming. We also are thinking about working with the people from Dubai. I met the king for investment to come here from the Emirates into Liberia. So there will be a lot of possibilities, a lot of activities here that we want to undertake come 2026.
Okay, so Timas, we will take calls, but since the president is still on the international stage, I want to remain there. We take our seat 2026 on the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member. I wonder how our representation going to look like.
Well, I think right now Liberia has been consulted on many issues on the Southern Sudan. Liberia now is a country that has been consulted on international issues. If you see people coming here, Liberia will be taking the seat. Liberia is now going to be on the international forum, that we are going to be the ones working with countries now to solve international problems. That's the role we're going to play.
So let me get to this. On the same international scene, Mr. President, what was put into this 3-year
US
United States visa? How did you work that out? Because we know it was
I think you're happy, right?
Of course I gotta be happy. So I'm asking, we've been in this thing for 3 months, maximum 1 year. How did you work it out?
Good relationship, good image. The more people begin to see you that you are credible, we have to also put together our security system. meaning that we had to make sure our passport, our IDs, our security system is in place, that the people have the confidence that also when our people, and that's why we want to build our country so that when our people leave here, they know they can come back to our country. Most people go because they believe greener pastures. And that's why we have to put systems in place that will guarantee health, that will guarantee education, that will guarantee safety. When the people know that you don't look like somebody who can come back home, they will not give you a visa for that time. So the Americans were good enough to begin to trust us, to trust our passport system, to trust our security system, to trust that we are creating a country that people can live in, go to school here, get educated here. You know very well, you heard it when I went to the state with the 5 presidents. You heard what Trump said. I didn't go to school. I went to school in the state, but it was Kansas State University. I went
What
there
did you say to Trump?
I don't know what I said.
You spoke English.
What? You heard what I said. But what I'm saying is that when the people have confidence in your country, that you can live there, people can live there in safety, that people can live there and acquire good education, then they know that you're not going to their country to go and stay. So you got a 3-year visa.
Okay, so let's go back to the callers.
Yeah,
Then
we'll
we
take
come
the
back to
callers.
the issue of drugs
Yeah.
and other related issues.
Yeah, before they call, Mr. President, you said something, you gave a hint about the MCC. You said, because in 2015, the amount was 257 million. I wonder what kind of figure we expect from the Americans.
They haven't called figure, but we have an idea what figure it is. So we don't want to be the one to guide, but I tell you,
But you know the
it'll be more than.
So you know the
It'll
figure.
be more than $300,000 million.
Okay.
So we're talking about something like 500 million.
That's all right. You are guessing.
Mr. President, what is that one challenge your government faces
In terms of,
anything?
well, the challenge we face is also capable manpower. And this is, I'm emphasizing that because it's about time that we train our young people
Human resource.
to be able to build them up so that they are qualified for the jobs that are going to be available. But beside that, also the matter of integrity. People got to trust you. And we want to make the people to understand that this matters a lot in the international arena. So integrity, this whole matter of corruption, people trying to. But Liberia also, I should be thankful to God that we've been, with all the difficulties, Liberians have proven that when good things happen, they appreciate them and they live with them. And that have made Liberia friendly. People come here. We don't hear much about armed robbery, about all of these things that used to happen. That is setting up for progress.
Okay, this is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. I'm Vafle Kamara T-Max.
Let's take our break and let's put in the call so that you can talk directly to the president.
Sure, you can call us on 0880-514-096, 0880-514-096, 0775-677-376. We take the first 3 rounds of calls.
Let's emphasize that
question.
the calls are directed to that number. Many a times when we're on the show, people will call our private numbers.
I'm not answering my private
The
number.
numbers announced are the ones that we use. Go ahead.
Okay, let's take this first caller. Good morning. Please leave from the radio if you call, please.
Good morning.
What's your name? Where you call from? Your question.
My name is Peter Yasia. I call you from GSO. I want to tell the president thank you so much for the first appearance on radio. But I got a question. Mr. President, thank you for this service. But you have not told us clearly
Okay. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Paddy, and good morning to Excellency and President Joe Boakai. My name is Emmanuel Spano Jr. to join from District 2. Yeah, my question to the President in terms of reconciliation, but you only talking about preparing it there. I want to know why is playing reconciling the country by recognizing the past president.
Okay. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Bradley. Let me say good morning to Mr. President. My name is Nyuma. I called from Monrovia this morning.
Let's hear you.
Mr. President, I'd like to say thank you so much. Specifically, I'm speaking for the volunteers in the healthcare system. I want to thank your leadership for placing more volunteers on the payroll. In fact, we have been receiving some alerts from across the country. You know, those volunteers that have been in the system for more than 5 years, they have been recruited on the payroll. I want to thank you for that. We just hope that in the coming years, you can be able to talk to the Minister of Health and Finance to look at the increment for healthcare workers, nurses, and those casual workers. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. President will respond to the first 3 questions. Mr. President, the number 1 question is the President is concerned about 2029, whether you will contest again. You can respond to that.
I'd like to appeal to the Liberians, 2029, notwithstanding, let's concentrate on what happened between now and that time. Let's concentrate on improving the lives of our people. People have been deprived for too long, so let me leave that for now. I appreciate their effort, but I want to say that we should begin to work. I think we are only gone 2 years. So let's leave that. Reconciliation is a process. You have to do the first thing first. We have done the first thing. We're going to set up a committee that will go further than that. Meeting people, talking with people, for being able to bring people under one roof to talk about the way forward. So we have just done the first round to make the people know that we're sorry for what happened, to bring the people together to console those who lost their family. Then we move on to the next phase, and that next phase will be directed by a broad section of people as to where we move. Now, the volunteers, their payroll, not only volunteers, this is one country you work for the same, especially for government, for the same salary forever. I think we need to look at the cost of living to improve, but you can't do that. Our budget just gone to 1.2 billion. We've been stuck between 600 to 700 million. Let's improve the revenue. There are a lot of hidden monies around that we're trying to uncover. A lot of people, business people here have shortchanged us. If you hear a reporter coming from the port, the APM terminal hardly been cheating, let's uncover these things. And we want to use resources, at least at some point in time, to see how we can upgrade the salaries of people who work, not just for government, even for the private sector, because we have to set the bar for the people to know that our people deserve better. So this is something we have to look into, and we must do.
Okay. Let's take another round of calls. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Bradley.
Your name? Where you called from?
Thank you, Bradley. Good morning, the President. And Kelvin Demick. I'm Jesse Martin, Super Junior of the Interletter Club, section number 14. I want to appreciate the President for making this public appearance, at least to speak to, the citizens of his country, and to have an interactive discourse. I want to ask the President, much appreciation to him firstly for...
Can you just ask the question, please?
Making comments for the question. Much appreciation to him.
Yeah, because we don't have time.
Probably. I want to ask the President, what is his stance on the police brutality within Kinjoy and within the country.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, this is Richard C. Elliott, and I do join you from Moses Live.
Let's hear you.
I first appreciate the president for the level of what he's doing in our country. I from the southeast to the Pacific Harbor. I want to appreciate him first for the role, the southeastern role. He used to take us, he used to come from Harbor to come to Monrovia around rainy season, and that was the dry season. But since he took over, the road is flyable, it has been good. However, I just have two recommendations for the president. The first one has to do with the one currency. Mr. President, today if you go to the supermarket, most of the items at the supermarket, if you ask for the price, it's in US dollars. If you go to the stores, you ask for prices at the stores, they will call USD to you. And if you went to buy something and you didn't have USD, you have it like $20, you will pay more money.
So what is the recommendation?
The recommendation is for us to have a one currency at the Liberian market, like Ivory Coast, like Ghana and Nigeria and other surrounding countries.
Okay. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Fabi.
Your name?
My name is Jake Parker. I flew in from Balanceo, Quebec. Let me say good pleasant morning to my Nanda president. And, you know, our president was a heaven sent.
My member, you ask the question.
Just go to the question, please.
No question. I just want to
Oh.
to our president to say thank you for what you do for this country.
Okay. He acknowledges that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning. Oh, please. Oh, sorry. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Let's hear you quickly. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Dan. I'm calling from Secretary.
From Saclay-Pied. Go ahead.
Yes. I just want to ask the president one or two questions.
Just one question, please.
Okay, sir. Okay. My first question has to do with the NRA. I want the president to please investigate NRA, the Custom Department, to FPRC. I think he said just talk about it.
Okay. Custom Department at LRA. Mr. President, you listened to some of the concerns. Somebody asked me about the King George investigation, something.
We know we've been having problems with King George. I went to King George during the campaign, and I saw King George that even with a big mining thing that went on there, people didn't have electricity, they didn't have water, and these are things that are unacceptable. We've been having the Minister of Labor, the Minister of Justice, to go there to take care of crisis. We need to nail down in these concessions. And what I'm planning to do is to review all of the concession agreements, because these agreements were working when we were not in government, so we don't know the condition there, but we need to review all of them to see how they work in the interest of Liberia. So let us give a chance. We're going to do that, and we're going to find out what the issues are and deal with them.
The single currency issue.
The single currency issue, these are touchy issues. Liberia had the advantage of dual currency, and because of that we enjoy certain advantages, the transfer of money out of the country, the flexibility to have money when you're traveling. Before we do these are issues that you have to look at carefully, how they work for us, how they may work against us. So it's just not the matter of saying, let's do it this way, let's do it that way. But I appreciate the concern. If they're not becoming a hindrance, we should look at it.
Okay, we can take another round, of course.
Is it the final round?
The final round.
This is the final round?
Yes.
No, I think we'll beat enough. Let's do the last round before we get to the final round.
Okay.
Of course. So my concern, Mr. President, has to do with drugs, illicit drugs. Nearly every day there's a new discovery of drugs. One would think, yeah, the LPA is working, but the process leading to the eradication of drugs is what we don't seem to have. We have confiscated drugs. We have arrested people with drugs. What next?
Well, it shows that the people who are dealing with drugs, the putting it under control, are doing a good job. But we can't begin to praise them too early. We want to make sure we have porous borders. And you know that the sources of drug mostly is around the borders. What we've been trying to do was to deal with the one especially at the Rabat International Airport, to put that under control. When you take over a country, you take over a number of issues that you got to study, you got to find out. The drug issue, I'm happy when I see the young people that are now working with us, helping us to be able to point out the sources and to work with it. I was most impressed when I heard the last time we went on December 6th, and the young people, when they were recognizing people, they were saying the DEA, the DEA. You would think they were against them, but it shows you that the young people themselves want to work with us. And their help is most important because they know the source, they know. So the issue of drug in this country is a very serious one because most of our young people, they are idle and they're looking for escape. So we take it seriously, and we are fortunate that we were coming up with people who we think are doing a good job. We have empowered them, but it's not something that you can wipe away within 2-3 days. So drug is an issue we're dealing with seriously because that also internationally create problem for Liberia because they would think that we are a drug trafficking country. And so drug is issue that we're not taking lightly.
Kevin, I'm concerned about ahead of 2026, 27 and 28 and 29, specifically 2026, especially when I see on social media with this regular picture portraying you with the ink pen and the paper. You know, what do we look forward to as presidential actions?
Ink pen on the paper doing what?
Well, it portrays like there are, reshuffle actions that you envisage. But we look forward to what are the actions ahead of 20.
The same ink pen, the green ink that I point, that the same ink pen.
With that green ink?
So it's the same pen. The thing about it is that, let's be very honest, you're not, I always tell the people, the lock on the door is not for rogues, because the rogue knows there's going to be a lock, so they come ready to break it. It's for honest people, because honest people, people that you trust, they're the one who know when you go to sleep. They're the one who know where you hide. The pen is there to get rid of those people who still don't believe that this country needs a move, who still believe that they can steal and get away with it and deprive future generations. We're going to deal with it. For me, people say you have breakfast with the president, you fight in the evening. We have breakfast as friends, but we are enemies when they come to depriving this country.
But then what do you have them for breakfast when you have to fire them the next day?
Well, I mean,
what do you do?
You are my friend, we have breakfast. You are my enemy. If you think that this country should be robbed just to take care of your own children, we are here for everybody. We must make sure the resources are available for our children to go to the best of school, for our children to find safety, for people who are working, that they can retire one day. And even if in this country, once you retire, you finish. You become a beggar.
My follow-up question is, what actions do we look forward to seeing?
A lot of action, because investigations are going on, court cases are on. We got to get the best of lawyers to present our case. Some things that are stolen, we are hunting for them. we have the process of retrieving some of these things. These things are going to come up, the decisions are going to reach, and the Liberian people will know what to say.
Mr. President, it's amazing how you give your vice president the opportunity. I'm talking about you telling him to head, say for example, price stabilization, the energy sector.
You know, that vice president, he's a businessman. He be in business, so he knows the ropes. For me, I'm not a businessman. I'm not a politician. I'm a person who loves to see good things happen to people. The vice president is in the legislature. The vice president, as a businessman, he knows the ropes. He knows some of the things that happen. He's a converted man now and working correct. So I use him to guide me in some of the processes that he knows.
That's going to work.
And it's working. How do we know? Let me tell you an example. Nobody had license to sell sugar, to import sugar. But you see sugar being sold all around. What's happening? Some of the companies that we gave license to produce juices, and we gave them duty-free on sugar, so they bring the sugar, and some of that sugar, they sell it. We're going to catch them.
And they put made in Liberia on it.
Of course, you don't make sugar here. So you see, you give the people duty-free to produce drinks, but they're using some of those sugar there to sell. And you meet somebody with sugar, where you bought it from this person, but that person doesn't have license to bring sugar to sell. For example, we have people who are producing flour. They were selling flour high. Then they use the flour byproduct to make feed for poultry. Then they export the poultry product.
The egg.
They use the egg, they overprice the egg, but they also benefit from the wheat bran that they fix for feed. They export it cheaper and they sell it higher to the Liberian people who are competing with it. All of these things we are unveiling, and the axe is going to fall. So by next year, most of these people will be brought to book, and that's why you see the rice price going down, because people have been shortchanging the Liberian people. I'm going to spare them.
The importance of the diaspora community. I understand there's a program taking place here from you. How important are they? How important is that community?
Most of the people who live outside Liberia send remittances to their family members. It comes at a high figure. They've been working with us. But what we're telling them is, yes, while we appreciate all that you're doing and want for you to do, some of you have skills. Some of the people that have been retired, some of them are engineers, some of them are agriculturists, and some of them have been retired, and I call them retired but not tired. So in the diaspora, they can work with us to help us give skill to our young people, come and invest in the country. We don't just want all the investment to come from foreigners. The Liberians come and invest in their country. The diaspora can do that. They've got huge resources, and we want for them to come and work with us.
Okay, Timax, can we take the last round of calls?
Yeah, the last round of calls.
How many?
Let's take about three.
Three.
Yeah.
2 sets of 3.
Okay, let's
that's six,
take
right?
this first call here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning, Your Excellency.
Good morning.
This is Nyuma Boakai, and I call from Monrovia.
Go ahead.
Excellency, in the year 2022, of Yangaya town, Excellency, you've been in that town before. Yangaya is in Bahama District, Bahama County. And the tell you, informing at the time, 2022, and they put a plight to you to have help them with a ferry to place it on the river that is between Grand Cape County and Bakodo County. And that river, the people of Yangaya use that area for trade.
So what is the question?
Yeah, the question is, sir, when will we? I mean, when should we meet you, sir, so that you can address our issue?
Okay. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Babri.
You called from North Dakota. Hello?
Good morning.
Oh, sorry. That's a, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Babri, and good morning to the Excellency. I'm Nothing Fine from District Number 2, Monserralo.
Okay.
I have a recommendation, non caution. Recently, there was an executive order number 151 putting ban on the exportation of unprocessed rubber material from Liberia here. But I believe that particular ban has an effect on the local farmers. Those farmers don't have the capacity to process those rubber compared to Firestone and Jesse.
Okay.
So you compare them to sell the rubber cheap to those people. At the end of the day, when they continue, those local farmers will be out of the business.
Okay.
So I want to respect them to reconcile that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Let's take this one here. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Good morning. What's your name?
This is Morris, Samuel Morris, from the Boroughs of Ruta.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. This Liberia is the only country when it comes to the public sector unionization that ratified the Geneva Convention, but yet still they are not being given an opportunity to have union of their choice. We are appealing to the president under his regime to please allow the public sector to be have union of their choice. We also want to appeal to the executive branch of government to prepare a bill. We can also work alongside with it to make sure that we become one of the signatory of the convention that also ratify domestically within the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. President, you can respond to this round, of course. Yangaya, the ferry there.
You know, I do remember the name Yangaya. I think it's one of those names I remember when my aunt walked me to come to Bami. And I went there, I think that one time. Yangaya is a very important community. In fact, there was a security that used to work with me from Yangaya. And we've developed friendship. They even got a zoo there that they named after me. So they have been very good. They visited me, and the doors are open. The thing about it is that you got to go through some arrangement. Once they do that, we can have a point.
Okay. Unprocessed rubber, Executive Order 151.
I think Liberians should begin to understand that Firestone came to Liberia. Next year we make Firestone 100 years here. Firestone been setting the price for rubber. You can't be in the business setting price and competing with the people. Unprocessed rubber will not help this country to create jobs. By this time, Liberia should be producing rubber tires, gloves, and different things. The reason we say unprocessed rubber should not be exported is to add value to create jobs. We're going to move to the next stage where we'll begin to produce things like rainbow rubber tires, and we must begin to add value to create jobs. Just sending raw material out of the country doesn't help to create jobs. So they must understand. But that doesn't mean that they should be underpaid. If your FOB price is what you get, that means you should get a price. If you were to export the rubber, this is what you will get. If they pay that, excluding the freight. So we decided to set up a pricing committee. It's no longer Firestone that set the prices. The committee will review. We want to make sure that people are paid fair price so that rubber can be processed here to create jobs. We don't intend to deprive the people, but the intent is to create more jobs here, but at the same time, give a competitive price. And one of the reasons they might be competing with Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast have advantages that we don't have. They have electricity we don't have. Everything we do here is done at a higher price. That is why we want to reduce the price of electricity so that we can be competitive. So when you start competing, we're thinking about countries, you must understand whether you have the same conditions as they are. And if we decide that we'll support the other people's market, then we're creating jobs for them and not us. We will give fair price based on our prices here, but also the advantage you have is that they will create jobs locally, and that's what we're trying to do.
One recommendation was about the unionization of the private sector.
I think we have unions here, right? The bargaining unions here. But these are things that are passed by law. I don't make the laws. People come, what they want, if it passes into a law, it becomes law. So it is not me who will decide. But at the same time, we want to make sure that workers here are treated fairly.
Okay, so we're getting close to our time, but I want to switch in this one question. Mr. President, there's an influx of Burkinabes in Liberia. One lawmaker specifically from Granjida said they have uncovered over 60,000 undocumented Burkinabes, and that's only for Granjida. If you go to the whole of the Southeast, it's being overridden by Burkinabe. Why is that? What are you doing about that? What are your immigration people telling you? What necessity that the influx of Burkinabes into Liberia?
Well, let me tell you, the whole world, even in the great United States, people come from Mexico to pick apples, to do this. Well, okay, we were part of the ECOWAS, and we have system by which influx is controlled. But when you say undocumented, that is worrisome, but we've been looking into that. We have sent the security there. But again, let's have it straight. The Burkinabes are hard workers. They come in and work. And you know, when people come in your country, they work with you, then later on, the other thing I don't want for them to do is to begin to take all their land and give it to them. But we are monitoring, we are checking. There are even up to about 80-some odd thousand Burkinabes in Liberia now. While we may not have problem with other Africans coming into the country, we have the problem as to how they enter the country, where they stay, and what they do. A few days ago, I had to send the soldiers there because the activities there are even destroying our forests. That tourism, where we've been areas that we've been designating for tourism, we're checking on all those things there. The Burkinabes that are coming into the country, I think they have been monitored because our attention has been called to them. But again, some of them are not just coming. Some of the citizens are bringing them in. And not only bringing them in, some of them are intermarrying. That's how people come. What we want to do is to make sure that people who come to the country come legally, and that we know who they are and where they are, not just clustered one place. So we are taking care of that. The soldiers went the last time. The areas that were being destroyed for our reserve areas, we put a stop to that. They're doing gold mining, they're doing different things, but we are monitoring that also. And I can assure you, we put them under control.
Well, Mr. President, it's been a huge honor to have you here as our
Can I ask
guest.
the last question, please?
We have to go, Timat.
I have the last question. Can I, in my capacity as Director General, ask the last question?
You're not going to Mr. President, our time is almost up. What message we want to give Liberians?
Look, I want Liberia to be a country that will be recognized, a country that will be peaceful, a country where our children can grow and become proud of their country, a country in which where people who live here will appreciate, and we have everything here, better than most other places. I want the most educated people to come. So we want to create a Liberia in which the Liberians will be happy, they will be involved in activities, they will be free to travel when they want to, but they will love their country, build their country. I want them to think Liberia, I want them to love Liberia and build Liberia. And that, I believe, is going to happen when we begin to open up our country. We'll begin to reconcile our people. We'll begin to build roads, quality schools. ELBC will spread all around. People can talk, people can speak. The children can learn and feel free. And I know this is happening. This Christmas, I hear the flights are overbooked. Come to Liberia. I want to have a proud Liberian country where people will be free to live here and move around and enjoy the best of health. And this is what we want to do.
What a way to end there. DG Fago.
Mr. President, thank you for coming over at LBS today. But as Director General, I get to ask my question. Mr. President, it's less than 2 years. January will actually make it 2 years. Mr. President, the roads are passable. Rice prices has dropped. Fuel prices has dropped. LEC is current and stable. Water is in supply. May not be the best, but you can look at LPS today, see where we come from. Salaries are current. Our currency is not in short supply. We can go on and on and on. The last question is, it's unprecedented. How did we get here? What is your secret? How did under 2 years, you managed to do all these things to stabilize this country? Even the rate has come from 200 to 172, 173. How did we get here? What is your secret?
You know, I came with a mind, like I told you, not to be present. But all of these things we have been watching, and we came determined to make sure that we do these things by example, to show the people that this country, potentials can be utilized. If you do it with the people in mind, you do it honestly. And I know that the Liberians are good people automatically. Once you put those things in place, they will recognize. So with God above, first and foremost, it's going to be even better. I'm doing it, not me. We're doing it together because the Liberians, when they believe in you, they watch you. Once you step out of the way, they all will go out of the way. So you have to promise and you have to deliver. And once you're doing it, they see it honestly, they judge you by it. So Liberia is on the move to be the best country within this region, and I know we can.
Okay, so we have two questions here. I'll be the last. You start and
They're married.
Kevin, do you look forward to doing this? I mean, we almost thought that you didn't want to make appearances because it's clocking almost 2 years. Do you look forward to doing this regularly to have an appreciation?
Of course, let the Liberian people, I work for them. Let the Liberian people know what we're doing. But I don't just want to be jumping on the radio until you have a reason to move there, to tell them what you intend to do. Because we want for them to hear from you what you're doing, for them to ask questions. Some of the things, the reason I don't listen to radio mostly is that I don't like all of these rudeness and insults. This is not part of our culture. I like to listen. I want to see the young Liberians on radio arguing, competing, and doing good things. Don't swear our people, our children, go start killing them to all the vulgar and things. I don't.
So you don't listen to radio at all?
I listen to BBC. I listen to EWR. I don't like, I will listen now to ERBC if the people become decent, respectable, and talking nice to one another, not insult and things that my ears are not for that.
Bobby.
Well, not a question, just an invitation. I'm the director of news, and I kindly invite you to the newsroom.
Anytime.
Okay, Mr.
But by the way, from here, we're going to open the new NOCA office. That's why I'm going.
Okay, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
With all the work you're doing, you or you won't be. I want to be clear. And I want you to be clear with me. You're too basic. How do you enjoy yourself? What time do you have for yourself? I mean, the Joseph Bagada knew so many years ago. Joseph Bagada sitting across the table.
I used to play.
How do you enjoy it?
I used to play long tennis when I was in Lofa. I used to play table tennis. I listen to music. I listen to other things. You know what? At a certain time, you take time for something else. This time is to build this country. Enjoyment comes from satisfaction with what you do. What I'm doing, I hear Liberians this time praising the country. That is my satisfaction.
What kind of music do you listen to?
A lot. I'm a variety. I listen to all kinds of music.
Do you watch football game?
What?
Do you watch football game? The Barcelona.
What?
The Barcelona.
The president,
Barcelona?
Yes, the Barcelona.
Real Madrid.
The Barcelona.
and Chelsea.
No, come on.
No, but team
No, let's get this clear. You watch it Barcelona because Barcelona started.
You know, yesterday, I asked the people in London, I said, is it possible one time for me to bring Arsenal team to play here? And they said it might be possible.
Oh, really?
That's my team.
Oh, big Arsenal fan. You don't know, T-Max?
Let's. So, Mr. President, thank you very much for affording us this opportunity and for the Liberians to talk to you. We hope we can do this regularly. It might not be.
I want to see a unified Liberians working together in our usual way where we meet, we interact and so forth, without all of these other things where people always insulting each other. Not the way we go. Decent country, that's what we know to be.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. His Excellency Joseph Nyuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, special guest on the Super Morning Show. My name is Vafle Kamara, Kelvin Demi. Kelvin, what is it?
No, my name is Kelvin. Bye-bye.
T-Max?
Thank you very much.
So,
Okay, keep listening to The Nation's Cry.
Great job, Mr. President. Great job. We'll do a group photo with a host.
And then individual.
The individual post, the one who make that movement. The president.